Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe. And ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop in. And bless them. Bless them, those little scamps in the media, they're still having a meltdown. Why are they melting down? Why are they melting down? Because they're wrong. Why were they wrong? Because they were lying. Why do people lie? Often because they're wrong, right? And they don't want to be wrong, so they lie. What they lie about? Oh, pretty much everything. Like, everything. Have you noticed how the world isn't as good as it was 5 years ago? 5 minutes ago. Have you noticed that? I have. I actually have. I think a lot of us have. But they told us that everything is the bestest ever. Oh, so good, so stunning, so brave. We're breaking the glass. And basically everything they told you was a lie, right? Was a lie. You think when you go and vote in any election, you're actually voting? I mean, in England, who are you going to choose? Labour or Conservative? What's the point? I mean, honestly, you have, ineffective loser or, like, slightly more racist ineffective loser. And to show you how messed up the world is, depending what your politics are, you think that when I say slightly more racist ineffective loser, if you lean right, I'm talking about Labour, and if you lean left, you think I'm talking about Conservative. That's the world today, right? Yeah, no, we live in strange times. But what did they lie to us about specifically this time? Okay, what was it this time? Doctor Who. They lied to us about Doctor Who. They said it was the bestest ever. Oh, bestest ever. When was it the best ever? When Jodie Whittaker came along. Why was it bestest ever? Because she had a vagina and not a pee-pee. That made all the difference. That broke glass ceilings, as they like to say. It broke a glass bottom boat, baby. It didn't work out very well because, unfortunately, while they endeavoured long and hard to find somebody without a pee-pee to play Doctor Who, they didn't labour long and hard to write stories for that person without a pee-pee to be in, or to have a conversation with the person without a pee-pee to talk about what the character of the Doctor was in any way like. So Jodie Whittaker, bounded forth with a completely undeserved confidence. It really was. I mean, every time I say that, I think about when she's walking up down the fashion, the fashion show at the San Diego Comic, Her Universe Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con. Was it just before her first episode debuted, and it was like, yay! Oh, and then they saw it. But if you look at her face of all that, oh, look at me, I'm Doctor Who, breaking the black glass ceiling, woohoo, I'm the bestest ever, whoa. It was unwatchable garbage. It turned out to be, right? Unwatchable garbage, desperately hiding behind agenda points to avoid any criticism. And boy, that strategy really worked well for the first couple of years, but it kind of wore thin. And eventually the ratings were worn down to a nub. It's funny, they don't roll out that same excuse anymore, right? When they got really bad, they said, oh, well, television ratings are down, or across the board. Yes, because across the board, you just make shit, BBC. Really? Have you tried watching EastEnders? No, nobody watches EastEnders. It's unwatchable garbage. It's like Grange Hill done by, I would say, I don't know, lobotomized idiots. Lobotomized racist idiots who think they're anti-racist. That's how I would describe the production on EastEnders. Not doing so well on the ratings, is it? Nothing's doing well on the ratings. But they said, oh, Netflix. It's Netflix. That's why. No! It's because you made shite, right? Anyway, so they kept telling you, everybody is a Nazi who hates Jodie Whittaker, and they believed it. Everybody who didn't like her, it wasn't because they made unwatchable garbage. It's because you're a bad person. That's why. And you noticing it being awful made you a bad person, right? Unfortunately, too many of us noticed, right? And too many of us noticed, and the lie they were peddling, that it was the bestest ever, kind of became really hard to keep peddling when it got the worst ratings ever, right? Worst ratings ever, was the most protected time slot in the history of television. It had a really cushy number, never moved, and still fell completely. Now, how do we know it fell completely and egg is all over their face? What is the constant reminder of the complete and utter failure of the Jodie Whittaker era, David Tennant, the 14th Doctor, right? Why they bring the 14th Doctor back? Because she bloody killed it, and we all know it. And most importantly, the shill media know it, and they are not happy about it at all. But they can't voice her unhappy about it because we all like David Tennant, and it's going to be good, and they know it's going to be good, and they really can't confess that much. And coming next is Ncuti Gatwa, who's a black man. That's even better than not having a PP. And I think he's a gay man too. A black gay man. Well, saints be praised, is all I can say. Although, yeah, it doesn't seem to me that who Ncuti Gatwa likes to have sex with is really going to impact his Doctor Who, right? You know, I don't see it be going like, oh, wait a minute, I can't fuck the Daleks because I need to suck a dick. Really, Doctor? Yes. That's not the ship script, Ncuti. No, but I felt we needed to say that. I don't see that happening, although that probably would have happened under Chris Chibnall, give it another couple of bloody years. So, yeah. They got egg all over their face. They are lying, right? And so we have these articles. That's why the articles come out. And they also come out to amuse us, right? So we can look at them and point and go, you're a schmuck, and we're going to take the piss. You know why? Because you deserve the piss taken, quite frankly. That's why. Fine, like, share, subscribe, comment. All those things are very, very good. Follow me on the Instagram. My Instagram is, I have to say, I've only been there for a few weeks, but my Instagram is clearly the best Instagram account in the history of Instagram accounts. I mean, just follow me on the Instagram. Look, people often achieve orgasm just looking at my Instagram. Now, listen, so I wouldn't do this on the tube, you know, or when you're having tea with a vicar, you know, go check out my Instagram, because that would, I don't know, that might come across a bit weird. They're like, oh, what's going on? I was just looking at Tzvi's Instagram. It's that good. It is, isn't it? It is. That's probably how the conversation will go. So follow me on Instagram, sign up my Substack, my email newsletter, that you may follow me at all times. You may know where my incredible content may be found at all hours of the day and night. Plus, I put lots of extras into it. I love those new pictures of Tom Baker that they just put out. They look gorgeous. I think I'm going to do some artwork from them for the people on my Substack. I really, genuinely, properly like them. Fine. Like, share, subscribe, comment, Instagram, Substack. Yes, all those things are good. I'll start on my paid one as well, which is also good. That is good also. Fine. Let's have a look at this this article. Doink. Oh, nope. Try that again. Doink. There you go. Fine. 8 biggest problem with David Tennant return to Doctor Who. There's one problem. There's only one problem. You look like a schmuck. That's the problem. There's no other problem. You look like a schmuck. That is the only problem. Fine? There's no other problem. There's just you looking schmucky, right? And for me, not really much of a problem. I actually quite like that. I would say that's a plus, quite frankly. Dr. David Tennant is returning to Doctor Who when Doctor Who returning to... We'll try one more time. Blah, blah, blah. David Tennant returning to Doctor Who marks a first when it comes to actors reprising the role. We know. And some fans are concerned about the implications. No, you're concerned about the implication because you look like a schmuck. The only implication that has is that Jodie Whittaker broke Doctor Who to such an insane, state, right? That they had to bring back David Tennant. I mean, they needed to reboot Doctor Who desperately, and that's what they're doing. And it's so clear. That's what they're doing, right? It was a failure. And every time you see David Tennant, you go, oh, it was a failure, and I lied a lot, and I don't like being called out. It makes me feel bad. It makes me feel good, baby. Early in 2022, Ncuti Gatwa was cast as the next Doctor on the hit sci-fi show. Well, it was a hit, and it is a hit again now. It's incredible. Isn't it wonderful? There's all these articles in like the mainstream press now going on. I'm talking about Millie Gibson, and frankly, as many articles you want to put about Millie Gibson, I'm totally fine with. Oh my God. I may have mentioned this once or twice on my channel. I think she's quite pretty. She's very easy on the eyes, right? Very easy on the eyes. Shooting Out was cast as a dino, blah, blah, blah. However, fans were quite surprised on October 23rd, 2022, when David Tennant officially returned to Doctor Who as the 14th Doctor. No fan was surprised. There was not one fan surprised because, what was it, March, April, we saw David Tennant playing Doctor Who, filming on the streets of Bristol, I think it was. Right? Yeah. Nobody was surprised. And nobody was really that surprised when they saw that because it was announced officially with the publicity photo shots of David Tennant and Catherine Tate that they're returning to Doctor Who. No one was surprised. No one. The only person who was surprised is you. You were surprised at how much of a schmuck you felt now because David Tennant was back and it was so obvious how much Jodie Whittaker had failed, right? So insanely, clearly obvious. I think that might be your problem, right? This led to much excitement, but also much uncertainty. No, we're all certain it's going to be great. There's no uncertainty. We're all really quite excited about it now. It's only you, and you're also reasonably certain. What are you reasonably certain about? That you've been a schmuck. You're reasonably certain that you've been a schmuck. Ultimately, most Doctor Who fans like the change. Ultimately, yeah, I mean, initially as well. For every millisecond that the change occurred, we all liked it. It went down very, 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 very well, right? Yes, we all liked it. Oh God, do you feel like imagine like the truth is like this glowing pillar, like and they're all like scared of it. All these journalists, whatever you want to call these losers, like the change, expect it with any new Doctor. They don't need the same thing, but they don't need the same thing twice. The British public needed the same thing twice because it so insanely failed, right? Doctor Who was destroyed by your clod-hopping hands. And the more that you pretend you don't know it, the more it becomes very, very, very obvious. Fans realise it would be bizarre if Tennant plays the 14th Doctor too similar to his 10th Doctor. They're exactly the same, okay? The only really time we've seen the 14th Doctor in action is in the Doctor Who magazine comic strip, which was initiated by Russell T Davies, and it was his idea, and it's being written exactly like David Tennant, right? Exactly like David Tennant. But it also be odd if he plays it totally differently. What to do? Thus, many are curious to see what the show will do with the twist, and if the series can avoid many pitfalls that bringing David Tennant could lead to. No, you just don't like feeling like a schmuck. That's it. That's literally it. You feel like a schmuck, and you don't like feeling like a schmuck. There's no more need of any navel gazing. That's all that's going on. You feel like a schmuck, and you don't like feeling like a schmuck. Okay, it's that simple. Number 8 of 8. David Tennant playing two different Doctors seems slightly greedy. Well, again, no one really thought this was going to have to happen, but we didn't have any choice. When Jodie Whittaker destroyed the bloody series, with Chris Chibnall, with you waving the bloody flag for it every step of the way. Oh, Rosa, it's so stunning, it's so brave. It was shit! It was unwatchable, stupid shit. Okay, just one plot point in Rosa, explain this to me. So they're in the insanely racist South, right? I will point out, Doctor Who has done, stories where I think in Big Finish came out the same month, about those naughty National Socialists and Nazis, right? And they painted those in a sympathetic light. Not the people from Alabama in the film. No, they're all evil. They're all evil, unless they're black, then they're all saints, right? But there's this one bit where they can't go back to the TARDIS for some reason. I can't remember. So they go and hide out in a hotel. So they break into a hotel, right, that only white people are allowed into, and they go in with Ryan and Yaz, right? So they haven't paid for the hotel. They just broken in, right? And then they're in there and they're trying to avoid people seeing them. And then this racist cop comes up and said, "Hey, I'm here. You got some of them darkies in here," or whatever sparkling dialogue they wrote. It's like it wasn't far from that. Don't kid yourself. It was much far from that. And Ryan and Yaz had already jumped out the window in the room they shouldn't be in the first place, out the bathroom, and it was just false tension. It was just badly written. Why did they break into a hotel? That might not be the best place to hide out. Maybe you want to hide out in the black areas, because they're all good people. No, it's unwatchable shit, right? It was slightly greedy of Chris Chibnall to fill the show with mind-numbingly poor agenda that doesn't make sense. Yeah. So, frankly, I think the Jodie era never happened. I think it's retconned away in my head. I'm just waiting to see what David Tennant really is doing as the 14th Doctor to be able to find out. David Tennant's return was instigated by returning Doctor Who producer Russell T Davies. I'm not sure. I think a bit of returning Russell T Davies was instigated by the return of David Tennant. I think the two things happened together. At least that's the official story thus far. The official story thus far, which we're getting in Doctor Who magazine production notes, is that they did the watch-alongs. It was End of Time, I think. I can't remember which watch-along it was. Arranged by Emily Cook. Great. That was one of the best bits of lockdown, right? That was nice, right? The watch-alongs were nice. You felt like some kind of connection. That was really, really very good. Where we all watched a Doctor Who episode at the same time and tweeted about it. It was lovely. It was absolutely lovely. And Catherine Tate and David Tennant were tweeting along. And Rusty Davies said he thought Catherine Tate said it, but he said it to Catherine about it. Oh, wouldn't it be great to do more? And Catherine's like, yes, we should do more. And then she asked David, and David's like, why not? We could do more. So then he went to Piers Wenger and said, yeah, they would like to. Would you like to facilitate it? That's the official story so far, right? I would love to know the real story. Wouldn't you love to know? I mean, I don't know. I think knowing the real story would destroy Chris Chibnall. So I'm very upset at how badly he treated Doctor Who. I don't think driving him to suicide is really, and I know a lot of Doctor Who fans are like, no, that's totally fair. A lot of Doctor Who fans out there, will be like that, but I don't think it's right? I don't think we should do that. Okay, David Tennant's return was instigated by the returning Doctor Who producer Rusty Davies, who was the man behind his previous casting. Yes, having David. I remember watching Casanova. If you haven't seen it, it's very good. To get a feeling of what his Doctor Who would be like. Having David's own producer choose him again for another incarnation feels a little greedy. Again, it was done because they really had to, didn't they? Having David Tennant return under David feels slightly ego-driven attempt to solidify Tennant as the best and most definitive Doctor of all time. No, his performance did that. And also, look, I think it's the first time you see something, you fall in love with it, right? So your first Doctor is your first, although I don't know what to tell you. My first Doctor was... I was going to say John Pertwee, but I think that was a rerun of Planet of the Daleks that I'm remembering. I think my first Doctor was Tom Baker. And very definitive Doctor, but I love Sylvester McCoy, right? I feel like he's my Doctor as well. And I've called him, I like, a lot. Most of the time, the first time you introduce something is the time you fall in love with it the most. Like the first time I saw Shameless was the US version of it. And I liked, William H. Macy as the main character. I can't remember the name of the main character. And I tried watching the English version, and the guy who played the character in England was iconic. Everybody loved him. I couldn't watch it. I was like, oh, this is not very good. You fall in love with something in the way you like. So people got into Doctor Who with David Tennant, and it was such an enjoyable experience. David Tennant became their Doctor. That is true. But I think Tom Baker is still... I mean, of the most definitive Doctor, it's David Tennant and Tom Baker. I think Ncuti Gatwa is going to be there in about 3 or 4 years. He's going to be, by the time he regenerates, I think he's going to be so insanely iconic. right? The more I see of it, the more excited I am. I just think we're going to get great, really fun, interesting, entertaining stories, which probably has a social conscience and a social commentary, and huzzah for that. I've never minded that before, even if I disagree with the commentary, right? I like to know. I like artists to express themselves, which is what this is, which is what that is. Many fans have no issue with Tennant returning as the 10th Doctor for the 6th anniversary, as long as there's a guest role. Having him lead the show again, though, in the anniversary specials, no less, feels slightly shameless. Oh, well, I'm glad I mentioned it. And again, if you ignore the reason, which you have to do, because if you don't, you're going to feel like a schmuck. And that's the worstest thing in the world for you little cowards, isn't it? Oh, it's so true. They say a coward dies 100 times over, and a brave person just once. Bringing back David Tennant as the Doctor encourages viewers to skip Matt Smith, Peter Capaldi, and Jodie Whittaker. Listen. I would encourage you to skip Jodie Whittaker. Somebody says I'm going to give you a choice. I can take my fist and I can shove it up your ass, right, all the way to the elbow. Really do that, right? I can do that. Or we can skip that. What would you like? Oh, I think I'll go for the skipping bit. And what utter nonsense! What utter nonsense! I mean, for God's sake, people get introduced to Doctor Who, shooting Gatway, they like it, like, oh, look, we got a whole Doctor Who channel here, let's see what else is. Oh, this Matt Smith guy looks dishy, let's see that. And then they're going to get into it, and they're going to watch it, and then they're going to come to Jodie Whittaker and go, oh, that was garbage, let's skip that quickly. An utterly stupid argument made by a stupid person who is in absolute freefall, because he feels like a schmuck, right? That's basically, he feels like a little schmucky-wucky, because he is. David Tennant was arguably one of the most popular Doctors of all time, but his return is a double-edged sword, with 10's regeneration into 11 back in 2010. Fans, where are we up to? Fans turned down and refused to give anybody else a chance to play the role. What? Many fans turned down and refused to give anyone else a chance to play the role? What? Well, that's nonsense beyond nonsense, isn't it? What? How are you even... Okay. With 10th regeneration to 11 back in 2010, many fans turned out and refused to give anybody else a chance to play the role. Okay, what, they didn't watch Capaldi? Is that what you're trying to say? Since Tennant's departure, viewing figures have decreased season by season, but most dramatically since in the Jodie Whittaker years. I mean, look, I think Capaldi, I love Capaldi. I think his portrayal was sublime and wonderful. I think very, very rarely did he have scripts to match his portrayal. When he did, they were, off the charts good. They were fantastic. I think his first season really hurt him. There's the alienness of this first season. And I think he had a 5-year arc, which got truncated into a 3-year arc. It was moved around, all around the schedules. It just considered safe. They could do anything they want with it. Wasn't treated like Jodie Whittaker. Jodie Whittaker, very protected, right? Had a very cushy Sunday night time slot that never moved. Capaldi was in the summer. And he still did better than Jodie Whittaker, right? They decreased season by season, but not like when Jodie Whittaker started, right? David Tennant's return will bring back plenty of fans who were happy to quit the show when he left. However, those same fans might feel encouraged to skip the intermediary Doctors that came... Hey, this is babbling nonsense. Babbling. What I'm saying, skip Patrick Troughton. What? God. Did this guy wake up this morning and say, I don't feel quite enough of a schmuck yet. I don't feel quite enough of a schmuck yet. How can I feel a bit more schmucky? And they go, well, I think I got an idea how he could be a bit more schmucky. Well done there. And I think you've achieved that. This all seems disrespectful to Matt Smith, Peter Capaldi, and Jodie Whittaker. No, it's disrespectful to Jodie Whittaker, which you don't like because she's an utter... Okay. It's fine to Matt Smith and Peter Capaldi. They're totally cool, right? Who as of now, aren't involved in the 60th anniversary celebrations, and I doubt Jodie Whittaker ever will be. And please, Big Finish, keep her away from your 60th anniversary thing, please. Right? I think it'll be really annoying to get pre-ordered and find it like the Dr. Ruth shoehorned in there. No, I don't want to hear from it. It was awful. Leave us alone with it, right? Leave us alone with it. Number 6. Doctor Who should look forward, not back. Well, again, to get anybody to look at it again, and another reason why they're in freefall and freaking out is how insanely popular it got the minute that David Tennant walked on screen. Like, people were like, I couldn't care less about Doctor Who. I haven't thought about it for years. Like, just really, really don't care in any way, shape, or form. And then suddenly David was like, what? And they're like, oh, back to this. This is cool. We love this. I know. It's because you at CBR were fibbing, weren't you? When you said she was the bestest ever. It's called a fib. Yeah. Long-time Doctor Who fans heavily criticised showrunner Chris Chibnall for falling into the same traps that classic Doctor Who did before its cancellation in 1989. No. He fell into that out of desperation when his vision for Doctor Who had totally failed, and he knew how much it failed by the end of season 12, I think, right? He knew absolutely how much it failed. However, new producer Rusty David may just have done this as well. I wouldn't worry, right? I really, really wouldn't worry. I think it's going to be fine. However, as well, in previous times of trouble, Doctor Who's producers considered bringing back fan favourites, most notably second Doctor Patrick Troughton in the late 80s, but they realised that wouldn't be right and instead look forward. No, I think they... Patrick Troughton didn't want to do it. They thought about it. And they were going to have Louise Jameson as Leela with Peter Davison, which I thought was quite weird. They tried doing a Big Finish a little bit, and it didn't work at all. This is eerily similar to what's happening now. No, it's not what's happening now at all. It's re-establishing its brand because you destroyed it. Yeah, and again, you specifically, you idiot writer. The fact that the show, famous for change, for better or worse, is now harkening back to a fan favourite Doctor seems a little desperate. It is desperate because you... Why are they doing something that's a little desperate? Okay, why do you think that's happening? Because it did so well? Because it's so stunning and so brave? Yeah, no. It did that because it didn't do very well. Now, did it? Come on, let's all try and be honest. The show may have lost viewers, but to go so far as this latch back to a previous popular Doctor feels like a backward move. And again, they need to move backwards to get away from the stench of Jodie Whittaker, right? The absolute stench of her. Bring back David Tennant confuses regeneration numbers even more. Well, really? And you got a picture of the timeless child there. Again, the reason being brought back because they completely destroyed the core of what was Doctor Who. I mean, you destroyed everything about Doctor Who. The main character was a bumbling, clueless moron who was a conformist. That's the most anti-Doctor Who thing ever. And then they changed the entire story of the character as well. So, oh no, now you're something totally different. But one thing you're not. What aren't you now? White and male. Oh yeah, none of those. We hate that. Yeah, okay. And again, where you go, oh no, the timeless child is what has made regeneration so confusing. No, you're like, oh, it's so stunning, it's so brave, icky thump. Oh, I got a bit of Geordie there. Doctor Who's regeneration and numbering system are more important than casual viewers might think. Well, they used to be, right? They used to be. The new series has already thrown numbers off, namely with John Hurt's inclusion and the twist Timeless Child. Don't even talk about Timeless Child, okay? Leave us alone with it. But this is not an excuse to throw the numbers off even further. Yes, there is no numbers now after the Timeless Child, which is why it's being retconned away. Na, 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 na. Hey, goodbye. Shooting Gut was cast as the 14th Doctor. No. He was cast as the new Doctor, and they announced him as the 15th Doctor a while ago. I think he might be the 14th. I don't know. But now that Doctor 14 has been assigned to David Tennant's return, you're just lying now, or you're ignorant, or you're stupid, or all three. You could be mentally ill as well. I mean, I want to be generous. There are many different answers to why you're such a schmuck, right? I mean, I wouldn't like to presume, right? I would not like to presume. But, yeah. This will undoubtedly lead to fan confusion in the future. I'm a confused fan in the future. No, I think we're going to work this out. I think we're going to be fine and dandy, baby. I'm not that worried, but here's the truth. The heart is the captain of the ship, and your mind is subservient to that. That's why you got to constantly make your mind subservient to your heart, right? You got to constantly ask yourself, am I reacting to my emotional state or information, right? The heart is the captain of the ship. The heart feels, oh no, I'm a schmuck. Helping me to schmuck, and I don't like feeling like a schmuck. And so, Brain, can you make me feel not like a schmuck and come up with reasons why this is a really bad idea? And sadly, his brain is not that talented, right? And this is all it can come up with. Because that's confusing. Will prompt the response of, which one? No, we're all fine, baby. It's all good. But yeah, I'm only halfway through. God help us. David Tennant return undermines Ten's heartbreaking end. No, not at all. No, I think it undermines Jodie Whittaker, which undermines you. Again, it's all about you, baby, isn't it? The 10th Doctor's farewell stands as an iconic regeneration in the new series of Doctor Who. I didn't think it was that much cop, really. Frankly, it was okay. Favorite regeneration. Okay, let me think. I mean, I think Matt Smith's birth, that first was fantastic. And Matt Smith's first episode was fantastic. I think I preferred Time of the Doctor as a regeneration story. What about, was it Parting of the Ways? Parting of the Ways about the same as End of Time. What regeneration stories were better? So we didn't get one from Enemy Within. That doesn't really count. And Colin Baker also. Time of the Rani wasn't as bad as you remember. So we got Caves of Randazani. Cave of Randazani, that was a standout regeneration story, wasn't it? That was absolutely a standout regeneration story. Far better than Logopolis. Planet of Spiders, it was designed to be watched episodically, 1 week at a time. It wasn't designed to be recorded and watched in one go, right? Because it's very, very boring and repetitive when you do that. But, sort of little story anyway. War Games is awesome, right? Okay, so I'm going to say Caves of Androzani, War Games and End of Time. Caves of Androzani and War Games and Time of the Doctor, I think. These were all okay. Fine, whatever. You're clutching at straws because you're reasonably pathetic. Okay, fine. The 10th Doctor farewell stands as an iconic regeneration in the new series. His final words were, I don't want to go. Again, that didn't really work for me, but whatever. It wasn't so terrible. I found it like a bit indulgent as well, and walking around seeing everybody. Used to get a huge emotional response from fans. However, it's hard to ignore the feeling that his return has now undermined his last season. No. Many fans have been now thinking he didn't go anywhere. No fan is thinking that. That's not happening. You're just in freefall. Why? And this has been the theme of this video. Because you feel like a schmuck, right? And that's why you're just making up all this bollocks. Furthermore, until newer generations, death of Doctor Who was still a sad and serious affair. Classic doctors may return for anniversary one-offs, but usually when a doctor changed, there was a feeling of loss. If any old doctors can return, it diminishes the impact of regeneration once had. What about if Doctor Who has, instead of having 13 lives, had like billions upon billions? Does that make it less special? What happens if Doctor Who just really functionally can't die? Does that make it less special? Did that bother you? No. Why not? Because you're a hypocrite. Why are you a hypocrite? Everybody together, because you're a schmuck, okay? Because you're a schmuck. I hope you're on a train somewhere. Listen to this on your headphones. And suddenly you looked up and loudly stated, because you're a schmuck. Wouldn't that be fun? And I do apologize if you do that. The wasted potential of the 14th Doctor. What? We haven't had the 14th Doctor yet. What? What are you talking about? It's important to mark each incarnation of the Doctor with a distinct look, characterization and personality. Okay, well, why don't you just wait and see what they're going to do? There's obviously some kind of reason by that. Thus, some fans are disappointed not only that Tennant has come back as a whole new incarnation. Okay, no one's disappointed. Did you pick up on any disappointment whatsoever when Jodie Whittaker vanished from screen? No. I think you picked up on sheer, unadulterated, elation. Out-control elation. Right? That's some fans, the weirdos, as a whole new incarnation. But so far it feels like he's the same as the 10th. Well, aren't you contradicting your first idiot point now? God. Bloody hell, that's pretty kind of sad. You can't, really? You can't get through a whole article? Okay, without maintaining a thought. The 14th incarnation was a chance for a whole new Doctor, a new star, a new character. But again, it's a wasteland. They got to rebuild it up first for a few episodes. Then we're going to get shooty, and it's going to be awesome. I think it's going to be absolutely awesome. However, it feels like 14 has now been a wasted body that the Doctor has manifested before. All potential 14th Doctor, the 14th Doctor had, even in extended media, is now limited. But hey, it's not fucking real. They'll be able to do comic strips with shooting Gatwa, you idiot cunt. Oh my god. Ah! Breathe, Steve, breathe. Okay. Even in extended media is now limited by the fact that he's a returning Doctor with a returning companion. Big Finish will be doing 14th Doctor audios. I guarantee it, right? Well, I don't guarantee it, but I'd like to hope so. The issue with Donna Noble's return. Oh, do you think Russell D. Davies didn't think about that? He's like, oh, Donna Noble's coming. Oh, I forgot she's going to burn up and die if she ever sees her. Do you think he forgot about that? Really? My God, I've never seen somebody get stupider as an article went along. What happened? Were your brain cells leaking out your ears as you'd make writing this? Donna Noble is a beloved Doctor Who companion played by Catherine Tate. Indeed, and may I recommend, although the prices now are just outrageous at Big Finish, they had a great Donna Noble spin-off called Donna Noble Kidnapped. I really enjoyed that, right? I really enjoyed that. That was fantastic. But yeah, she's a beloved companion because she's very good at her job. That's why. In addition, Catherine's great performance. Fans love Donna's send-off. Well, I don't think we did, actually. It felt really weird. I hope they're going to rectify that. Yeah, I do hope they're rectifying that. In Journey's End, the Doctor is forced to wipe her memory to save her life. It's a very emotional and tragic end for for Donna. Catherine Tate is now officially returning alongside David Tennant. Donna's memory wipe is key to her character, so it's bizarre that she's just back with the Doctor and there are no consequences. Why do you think that? Okay, this isn't Chris Chibnall, this is Russell T. Bloody Davies. Like, again, if you're a writer, you can think of something that will make it work, right? That's all you need to do. But again, if you're somebody who writes stuff like this, or Chris Chibnall, you probably couldn't, right? This does make fans think that something else is in play here. Yes, right. So this may not be what it seems. Oh, you think? As of now, these issues do seem valid. No, they don't. They seem valid to you because you're an idiot schmuck, right? Yes. Right. Here's a sign that you are somehow getting away from your idiot schmuckness, right? How do you know that's happening? Well, quite simply, because it will seem less valid to you, right? Seem less valid to you. Which again, I hate to be the one to point this out. The whole reason for this article is because you seem less valid to you now because you've been full of shit for years, mate. And this is just rubbing it in your egg-encrusted face. Number one, it detracts from Ncuti Gatwa's casting. No. We're all 100% on board and fine with it. Did anybody go, Millie who? We're not interested in Millie Gibson, that insanely hot 18-year-old girl who is insanely hot. No, we're not interested at all. It's detracted. Oh, no. It's going to, okay, here's what's going to do. It's going to build up Doctor Who in the public consciousness to the insane heights. And then Shooter's going to come, and as long as they can pull it out the hat and actually do good stories, which I think they can, I think they're really dedicated to doing, it's going to be glorious, right? Absolutely glorious. Doctor Who is a show based on change. No. Doctor Who is a show based on being contemporary. And that's something I realised a few days ago. Doctor Who is so it's always been on the cutting edge of entertainment, right? And that's part of its DNA. And so it has to change to do that, right? It's good to... Doctor Who has relevancy built into it, right? I wouldn't say relevancy. I think more fashionability built into it. It can change to meet the fashion of the time, right? That's exactly what it's supposed to do. That's exactly what it can do. Now, when it changed to make the fashion of the day with Jodie Whittaker, the fashion of the day was to make unwatchable TV that nobody likes, right? So it was very fashionable in that way. Right? People have made TV, they loved it. But as long as they didn't have to watch it, then, not so much. It's fine. It's a show about change. Okay. Change, progression, and looking forward. It's not about any of those things. It's not about any of those things. You're just an idiot who doesn't know what they're talking about. Ncuti Gatwa cast in May 2022, so rightfully he is the 14th face of the show. No, he's still the 15th Doctor, you moron idiot. Fans are excited to see Jodie Whittaker pass the baton to Gatwa and the show to continue to move forward. No, again, did you not see the reality of it go from complete disinterest to massive adulation and appeal the instant David Tennant. Not David Whittaker. God help us, no. David Tennant came on screen, right? Did you not notice that? Yeah, I think you did, which is why you're writing this. However, with Tennant now thrown in the middle as a bizarre, short-lived in-between Doctor, it robs Gatwa of the proper introduction, a clean regeneration, a smooth transition. It will also takes the title of the 14th Doctor away from him a little unceremoniously. What the fuck are you talking about? What are you babbling about? Oh, no, now he's going to be a 15th Doctor. This is... I remember years ago when I used to listen to Howard Stern, they had... it wasn't porn stars, it was Playboy models. Okay, my mistake. And they were talking about the difference of being in Playboy as opposed to being on the calendar. And this is why I used to like Howard Stern. This is before he sold out massively. They do the whole riff as say, when I do a calendar shoot, they put numbers underneath me. But when I do a magazine shoot, they put words next to me. It's very different. Yeah, no, it doesn't matter that he's the 15th Doctor. Nobody gives... This is all you trying to find a reason why you hate the fact that David Tennant came back. And the reason you hate David Tennant came back is because it proves to you that Jodie Whittaker was an absolute failure, thus making you into one of the biggest schmucks in the history of time. Yes, indeed. People do not like to have egg on their face. It also... Furthermore, Tennant's return seems to have overshadowed Gatwa's casting as the first non-white Doctor. Oh, which is all we really care about because we're deeply, deeply racist. Oh, we're so racist. Oh, and we like to tell black people what they like. Oh, look, here's a little mermaid, but she's a little black girl. You like that, little black people, don't you? And that's how these people think. This is how liberals think. They think about black people in that way, right? They are insanely racist. Hopefully, come November 23, the issue will be addressed. Will probably be Christmas 2023, but I wouldn't worry, mate. I wouldn't worry. What I would worry about is looking in the mirror and go, holy shit, I'm a schmuck. Maybe so. Look, listen. Okay, the person who wrote this article, what's your name? See, it is Ollie Harris. Ollie Harris. Right now, you're a schmuck. That's true, okay? You are a schmuck. Here's the good news. You don't have to be a schmuck tomorrow or ever again. You can choose to not be a schmuck. It's your choice, right? It's your choice. All you got to do is say, maybe I won't lie through my ass for ideological reasons anymore. Maybe I'll do that and be honest with myself. That way, you're almost guaranteed not to be a schmuck. Now, am I going to hold my breath for you to do that? Not really. No, I don't really give a shit. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.